Hi. The signs of the times are all around us. Lots of people see them, others don't. As with all of the Bible and biblical history, it seems that the professional religious, the priests, the teachers of the law, the rabbis, the elders, somehow are oblivious to what's going on around them. It is, as always in the Bible, the shepherds, the goat herders, the fig farmers who see what's going on and stand on the wall and trumpet the warning. I would like to talk today to those specifically who believe in a pre-trib rapture. I want you to understand that even though I stand on the other side and believe in a rapture happening somewhere before the wrath of God, and there are many, many people, educated people, schools, PhDs, who agree with me and who agree with you. The thing is that for those of us who believe in pre-wrath, if we're wrong and you're right, there's no problem whatsoever because we just go with you. We get to the throne of God and we slap you on the back and we say, hey, you were right. I was wrong. Welcome to heaven. Glad we got here soon. But some of us are worried, just a little worried about you who believe in the pre-trib rapture. And that is because we don't believe that you've ever even asked yourself the question, what if I'm wrong? Well, what if I am wrong? What if you're wrong? Okay? The question is, what if the Antichrist shows up and the church is still here? What if the mark of the beast becomes law and the church is still here? Because the point is that if you have your tradition above the scripture, exactly what's going to happen is what happened with the rabbis, what happened with the Sadducees and the Pharisees in Jesus' day. You're going to miss it. Just miss it. Not miss heaven. You're going to miss what's going on. What's really happening. And strangely enough, it is quite possible that those who are so sold on their doctrine, their school, their teachers, and the history of their doctrine, that they can't see what's really going on around them, they are going to explain to their flock that the Antichrist cannot really be the Antichrist, no matter how much of the scripture he fulfills, no matter if he fulfills literally hundreds of scriptures regarding the Antichrist and the ruler of the last days. You just quite possibly could miss it and explain to your people that he isn't the Antichrist and he can't be the Antichrist because Jesus has to come first, and Jesus hasn't come first. The church has to leave, and the church hasn't left. Therefore, the Antichrist isn't the Antichrist. And what's worse, we're a little concerned that you just might go around and tell people, oh, it's okay to take the mark when the mark becomes law, because that can't possibly be the mark that the scripture talks about, because Jesus hasn't come back. And the church is still here. Therefore, it cannot be the mark of the beast. My whole point right now is this. I want you to take just a few minutes and be honest, you and the Lord. And I want you to ask the simple question. What if, not if the scripture, not if the scripture's wrong. No, don't get me there. What if my interpretation is wrong? What if the interpretation given me by those who taught me is wrong? What if that long line that goes back behind them of people who believe just like I do, what if we were all wrong? And what if suddenly a man appears who fulfills all of the scripture concerning the Antichrist, and I'm still here, and my church is still here, and all the people that love Jesus are still here? And what if it becomes the law that you have to take a mark on your forehead or on your right hand in order to buy or sell anything, and you're still here, and the church is still here? I want you to ask yourself, what am I going to do at that point? If that happened, how would I react? Am I going to do like the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the rabbis of Jesus' day and stick with my tradition and just tell people to stuff their scripture in their ear? Am I going to lead my people into blindness and darkness and away from God because what's happening around me violates the interpretation of scripture that my teachers taught me and that I have believed? Or are you going to throw out that particular interpretation and go to the scripture and reevaluate what it says and compare this man who is fulfilling all of the scripture of the Antichrist, compare this mark that he has made law that you have to take, compare that with what the scripture says about the mark, compare scripture with what's happening, and decide to accept scripture over tradition. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I am in the strange position of hoping that you're right and I'm wrong. If that's so, then we'll all meet in glory. And I'll be the first to come to you and tell you, hey, friend, I was wrong. Jesus came before the tribulation, before the Antichrist. Jesus showed up. He took us all to heaven. And I am so glad you were right and I was wrong. But what happens if you are wrong? This is Dave Rice speaking from Fort Myers, Florida. Have a blessed, blessed day, and be blessed in the days that come. I have a feeling they are going to be very, very evil.